Morning. This is Tia Torres with Tia Talk. So I feel like I'm getting closer to my goal. Number one, I'm actually recording this in the morning. Number two, you can hear how quiet it is in the background here. And that's because I do have somebody helping me today with my dogs, so they're not here in my house, at least the majority of them. What I am practicing for is that next week I will be driving to Ohio to pick up my newest, well, actually my new and hopefully permanent assistant. He's coming out of prison, and I'll talk more about him on my 25 to Wife podcast. But just real quick, he is my ex-husband. I haven't seen him in almost 20 years. And he's coming to live here, and he'll be taking care of my dogs while I can do social media and other things. So this is kind of like a little test run of what it'll be like. And one of the main goals I have is to turn Tia Talk into a every morning, not only podcast, but a live stream on our various platforms, in addition to having a call-in studio. So I'll be live streaming like a radio show / podcast. You'll be able to see me and hear me, but you can actually call in on the phone as well to ask questions and talk. So I think I've got it all down. Now I just have to get the one last missing puzzle piece, and that is my ex-husband Tony, and get him trained with these dogs. So I'm thinking in the next couple of weeks, Tia Talk will become like a regular, everyday place where we talk about everything that pretty much surrounds what I do, and I'm hoping that you'll be here to join me. Of course, it'll be a lot of dog stuff, but also those that know that the other part of my life is the prison world, whether it's working with people coming out of prison, talking about things going on in the prison industry. I do have a lot of inmate guests that want to come up and talk, tell their story, look for friendship, companionship. I have a few close friends that have become close friends who want to get their loved one's story out because they're trying to get their case appealed or retried or resentenced. So that's it on the prison front. Additionally, I have gotten asked by shockingly, so many podcasts to be guests. So I have an entire list of podcasts that I'm going to be returning their call and saying, yeah, I'll be a guest on your podcast. And of course, I'll tell you all about it. You can listen in. So that's kind of interesting. And you've all been waiting for this. And that's the online thrift store. Huh. People, thank you so much for all the donated goods. They are currently in stacks on a bed in my back room where my bloodhound sleeps, because I can't get to them because of all the dogs I have, because of the lack of help. To remind all of you, or maybe to tell some of you that don't even know, I had to fire my dog assistant on July 4th, and I have been without help ever since. So in addition to doing this and running the rescue and taking care of a herd, not a pack, a herd of wild animals, aka the coonhounds, it's been extremely difficult for me to do anything social media. But I am putting all my eggs in one basket for when my ex-husband gets out, and get him trained on these dogs, and he can sit out there and take care of them and watch them and keep them entertained while I do that for you. So that's kind of cool. One thing I'm really excited about is an online series that I have been wanting to do for years. And I have mentioned it from time to time. It is dog related, but It's kind of like almost like a travel show, which do really well for viewers. They love that. And it's called Dirt Road Rescues. And I want to go out to small towns, rural areas, and highlight these small animal shelters that just go unnoticed because they're so remotely located. So it's going to be a combination of filming it for an actual little online episode for YouTube and Patreon, but also live streaming it when I'm there. So I'm really excited about that. As soon as Tony, like I said, gets here and gets trained, it's going to be bye. I'll be zooming down the road and I'll be like, don't forget to feed the cat. Speaking of, here comes Switty right now, my gangster swamp cat, swaggering down the walkway in the swamp here. He thinks he owns it. Well, he does own this place. He's been running this swamp. Well, I've had him since 2021. So, but yeah. So that's Dirt Road Rescues. Pretty excited about that. Also, too, can I just say this? I know that 99% of the comments I get are amazing. Okay? Y'all are so supportive. Then why is it that one or two negative one gets to you and then you dwell on it for the day? I don't know why that is, because I know a lot of other people who are on social media have the same thing happen to them. And what really irked me this morning was that I started a new prison-themed podcast. It kind of coincides with an old Facebook group that I started many years ago. It's called Doing the Time with Tia Torres. And it's going to be kind of like my Prison Central, where everything that I talk about prison-related goes on that podcast. And then my other two prison-related podcasts, one is 90 Day Felon. That's just me helping inmates find a pen pal through social media means. And then the other one, of course, is 25 to Wife, which is going to be continued after Tony gets out. So I have to remind people, y'all say, oh, I love you for the TV show you had. Okay, well, let's talk about that. The show was called Pit Bulls and Parolees. Okay? So we have evolved. We don't just rescue pit bulls anymore. We rescue all types of dogs. We rescue cats. And every now and then I'll get, I hate to say it, a pit bull person that says, you're not, I thought you were loyal to the breed. Why are you rescuing other dogs? Ew. But of late, it's been animal people in general that when they come across my prison-themed, material, and it's very obviously prison-themed, like Doing the Time with Tia Torres, the logo is like a cell, like prison bars, like bars on a cell. Like it's pretty obvious. And then you get comments like, oh, I just can't listen to this. Or why are you doing this? Somebody posted this morning, wow, it's a shame you're taking away time from your kids and your dogs. Like basically to do this. Well, first of all, my kids are adults. Okay, so I hardly see them anymore. But I have to say this. And this is normally something I would put on my Tia Torres Unmuzzled podcast because that is where I vent. But I'm going to say it nicely. It's a shame because when I do dog content, the prison crowd does not come on there and go, oh my God, I can't stand listening to these dog stories. They don't. But when I do prison-themed content, the animal people will come in there and talk crap. It's not very nice. But it's been a theme So it just kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth. And I know not everybody, does that. Of course, the majority do not. But it's like, if you don't like it, then don't listen, then don't watch. Just, as they say, keep on scrolling. Hell, let's talk about dog stuff. In the news right now. What's his name? Tyrese Givens, I think is his name, the actor. Y'all hear what happened to him? Or not happened to him? What his dogs did? I believe it was in, I want to say Georgia. Yeah, his pack of Cane Corsos, Mastiffs. I guess he was constantly letting them out to roam loose in the neighborhood. Or, excuse me, his dog sitter. And they killed a neighbor's dog, a little cute, fluffy King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. Those little tiny, cute little dogs. And Tyrese scooped the dogs up and took off with them because they were coming to confiscate his dogs. It's a very interesting story because there was a lot of moving parts in this story. One, and I'm not victim shaming here, so I'm saying this to use this as an educational moment. The little dog was in his front yard behind an invisible fence, was out there alone, unattended. I'm saying this because we've had several people apply for one of our dogs, and when we hear they have an invisible fence, we're like, it may keep your dog in, but it ain't going to keep the enemy out. And that's exactly what happened. These Cane Corsos just strolled right onto the property and mauled him. So say no to invisible fences, guys. That's my lesson there. But what was also interesting is that they ordered the dogs, the Mastiffs, of course, picked up. And before they knew it, they were gone. And Tyrese Givens put out a statement on his social media saying that, I've taken the dogs. I'm finding them a new home, which I doubt he is. But I'll be back, I'll be back to basically answer to the charges because they put out an arrest warrant for him. And I had to think. First of all, I would never let my dogs run loose like that, okay? But if my dog had gotten out and done that, and they were coming to take my dog to kill it, or put it in jail, I don't know. I probably would have done the same thing. It was, of course, horrible what happened to that little dog. There's no amount of money that's going to bring that dog back. But I'm like, at first I was like, wanted to talk crap, but I'm like, wait a minute, I probably would have done the same thing. Ran with my dogs. Anyways, it was just not a little, but it's a big story floating around right now. Since we're talking about dogs. The other thing, guys, and I don't even know why I have to say this, but y'all are pretty good about it, but you will never hear me talk about politics on any of my platforms. I say this because yesterday, a good friend of mine, she runs a dog rescue. And I don't know what made her do this, but she posted a meme, a political meme. It wasn't the worst I've ever seen. It was something to do with the White House, but it wasn't like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was definitely politically motivated. And wow, her own friends, they turned on her. Not turned on her, but said, now, gosh, I never knew you really thought this way, and now I'm very disappointed in you as a friend. And I'm like, whoa, it got heavy. And it's like, guys, I'll tell you, do I have political views or opinions? Sure I do. But who wants to hear about it 24/7? We're here to talk about what we're talking about. Whether it's dogs, whether it's prison, whether it's me talking about my novels that I'm writing. The other night, what TV show was I watching? A movie, I think. I was really into it. I think it was like about music. Oh, no. It was about a publishing company. It was like a rom-com. It was about a publishing company and books. So I was really into it. And then they start taking jabs. Like, in there, like, within the within the conversations. And it was a scripted show. It wasn't like a documentary. And they started making like little jabs, political jabs. And I'm like, okay, whether I like Republicans or Democrats, red or blue, Trump or Biden, whatever. Okay, that's not my point. My point is I don't want to hear about it while I'm enjoying watching the movie about novels and publishing. Same when I watch like an award show, like the Grammys or something. I don't want to hear somebody get up there and give a speech about politics. I want to hear the music. So I'm not going to care who you voted for. I don't care. I don't care. You're still my friend. Like you're not going to ruffle my feathers if I don't care. It's okay. This is going to be our time to talk about the topic at hand, and it's never going to be about politics. Okay, well, God, I just gave myself a head rush right now. That was a lot. Okay, guys. There you go. That's what's coming up. And the next episode, it's going to be a lot more. Because by then I will be back from Ohio. And yeah, things are going to be different. Better for me because I'm going to have some help. I hope. Okay, y'all. Well, until we meet again, I will see you when I'm looking at you.